When a person is actually in association with pure devotees, the sublime potency of my devotional service can be experienced. In other words, when a pure devotee speaks, his words act upon the hearts of the audience. What is the secret of hearing and chanting? A professional speaker cannot impress transcendental ecstasy within the hearer, within the hearts of the listeners. However, when a realized soul who is engaged in the service of the Lord is speaking, he has the potency to inject spiritual light within the audience. One should therefore seek the association of such pure, unalloyed devotees, and by such association and service, a neophyte devotee will certainly develop attachment, love, and devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so basically Prabhupada is saying unless only when pure devotee speaks, that time it can impress the hearts of people. So we see how Prabhupada, because of his pure devotional service, although he was speaking those things which were like, practically unimaginable for the Western world, but Prabhupada could impress such transcendental knowledge on the people of the Western world also, because of his himself being a pure devotee of the Lord. So bhakti is actually, preaching is about transferring the bhakti shakti, or you can say bhakti in general. Mm, that is what exactly preaching is, and that bhakti is a Lajini potency of the Lord. So she goes only through the heart of those who are devotees of the Lord. She doesn't go just by some speculation. So we see that before Prabhupada also, so many people went to West or they try to preach, but not everybody can induce. There are only selected sages who could induce bhakti, like Tukaram Maharaj, Narsimha Mehta, or Mirabai. They could induce bhakti within people's heart. And our Bhakti Saran Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, these also. So they could induce bhakti within the heart of people. The main reason because they themselves were great devotees. And such, like, even Babajis like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj or Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, although they are Babajis, but without much preaching, without speaking much, they are able to induce bhakti in the heart of people. Can you imagine? They did not give much lectures. Of course, they used to give some lectures here and there, but by their just presence, they could induce. So preaching is more about um, transferring bhakti from the heart of a Vaishnava to others' heart. It is the donation of bhakti. We give bhakti as donation. So then now one may say, so, but what about us? Why should we preach then? We should simply keep quiet because we don't have so much devotion.
We ourselves get reminded of whatever we have to do by preaching.
Huh? Yes, by preaching we ourselves get reminded.
Bhakti is Bhred Bhagavad just telling that we preach to keep ourselves in Krishna consciousness.
Correct. We preach to keep ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Okay, that is from our side. What about other poor fellow?
Sri,
Mohan Sagar Prabhu.
I don't know about outside, but this is a message of Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that you should become Guru and not a Guru, but should preach the
Chaitanya
message
Mahaprabhu has
of.
ordered. So we are not whimsically trying to preach. It is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach. We are not preaching on our own. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that Amar Agya Guru Hoya. So he has told. And Guru doesn't mean only Diksha Guru. Guru also means Patha Pradarshak Guru. Not every one of us will be able to become Diksha Guru. Maybe some of you in future will become. So I will come and try to beg blessings from you. Because you will become Diksha Gurus in future, some of you. I will remind you that, Prabhu, do you remember? I was your servant once upon a time. Give little mercy to me also. But not everybody will become Diksha Guru. Some may become only Shiksha Guru. Some may become only Patha Pradarshak Guru. Like a book distributor is generally a Patha Pradarshak Guru. But even that is also ordered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some people may just introduce others. Yeah, so that is also nice answer. Any other answer?
actually, the devotee of Lord, he feel genuine love for Lord, and his love is in the form of compassion for other suffering souls. That's why he preach them and take them back to God.
So a devotee preaches out of genuine compassion, correct, and that's how. Yeah, what else?
This is the in Bhagavad Gita Lord told ki this is the most this activity Lord like most.
Correct, but Lord appreciates this service the most. He says that servant is very dear. Very good. These are all good answers. My question is specifically that if we are not pure devotees, then are we now? How can we preach? Because it is said here that pure devotee can give devotion. I don't find any. I have any devotion
But
in
we
my
are
heart.
following path of whatever pure duties that we are aspiring.
Okay, yeah, because we are following the path of pure devotees, so it has potency in itself. Correct. Yeah, that is also true. And you are saying.
We like Prabhupada used to say, I may not be perfect, but whatever I am speaking, that is coming from a perfect source. That is Sri Krishna.
Yes.
In that way, it is perfect.
As long as we repeat the message of pure people, then that is also perfect. So both people get benefited. The person who is hearing and person who is speaking, they both may not be perfect, but by hearing the perfect message, they get benefited also. And one more thing is also that we also, in the course of our preaching, these are all very good answers all of you gave. At the same time, one more very important aspect of our preaching is that somehow I feel that it is little lacking in our preaching, especially in Pune. I feel sometimes it is lacking that we sometimes fall short to introduce people to pure devotees. That sometimes does happen. Of course, at least pure devotees in the sense, at least I feel so exalted devotees. So I feel it is very important that quite at some really good stage, we should really introduce our boys to Prabhupada books, not just keep them attending classes of hours. So if you see in our morning program also, that's why not everyday preachers are supposed to give class, isn't it? There is a class of gurus, there is a class of Prabhupada and all that, because it is essential to hear from pure devotees. So I feel in our preaching, uh, I see this Sudarshan Prabhu, Raghav Krupa Prabhu, their formula is like that only. They introduce a lot. And in Delhi also, they were saying that they have book reading circles only. Their preaching is book reading circle. Like this, what we are reading book now, Prabhupada books. That's how they do preaching. So it has got a special effect because they are directly hearing from a pure devotee. So sometimes we may lack. Of course, we introduced it to Radhesham Prabhu is exalted devotee. That is one advantage. Who is very exalted soul, and we introduce him. So, but the point also is that eventually it should happen, that the mentor he introduces at some point of time the boy to preacher, and then he hears from preacher also. Preacher in meantime he introduces boy to Rayashampru, and then from Rayashampru we introduce them to other great souls also eventually, because some point of time we think that they cannot understand the words of pure devotees. So that's why we don't totally connect ourselves off from them. We also keep giving them some guidance and shiksha. But at the same time, at least in the beginning, little dose of pure devotee should be given. This is my honest opinion, especially in the form of Srila Prabhupada's books, because I feel that if Prabhupada speaks to them, that will have a very solid impact, isn't it? So how to do it? It has to be done very systematically and properly. So that is a matter of management discussion. But as from this we can understand that uh, he should be he should have that a pure devotee can give bhakti sanjayate bhakti. Also, to the extent we have bhakti, to that extent also we'll be able to give bhakti also to others. It is not that we cannot give any bhakti. We also can inject some bhakti, but it is like based on our level. If we are kanishta, we can raise up to others to kanishta stage. If we are madhyama, then we can raise others up to Madhyama stage. If we are Uttama, then we can raise others up to Uttama stage. That's why Prabhupada says that in NOI, that even Kanishtha can become spiritual master. But his disciples will be simply on Kanishta level. It is not forbidden for Kanishta to become spiritual master, but he cannot raise his disciples beyond that Kanishta platform. That's why generally one should accept Uttam Adhikari as spiritual master, because then there is a scope of raising. Otherwise, when I'll have to take on many spiritual masters, दूसरा option हुआ है, एक spiritual master, फिर दूसरा, फिर तीसरा, like that. One will have to take on many. But anyways, in ISKCON, if you see in ISKCON, जनरली कनिष्ठा को स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर बनाते नहीं है, दीक्षा गुरु. There are quite elevated souls who are becoming spiritual masters in ISKCON, so we are saved from that type of tendency. But here again, as we say, that spiritual master also means shiksha guru. So if we, that's why it is, I said that it is important that we introduce our people to advanced personalities, so that because we are having some particular level of advancement only, we cannot raise them beyond that. But then we introduce them to the more advanced personalities, they'll flourish more. That's how. That's the real.
Means, when we introduce initially like some guru or like that, but they are not able to whatever means spiritual advancement guru has. So sometimes they commit offense by their actions. So in that case, that offense को ज़्यादा लग जाएगा.
या उल्टा लेने के देने पड़ जाते. Correct. I agree with this. He is saying that sometimes when we introduce somebody to Guru, they cannot digest Guru what he is telling, direct instructions. That is also very true. So that's why it has to be done quite maturely, seeing the person's capacity and all. Those, see, it's like, a baby is there, you cannot feed pizza to baby. So, but that doesn't mean that a baby, till the time person, even if he has grown up to now 10th standard, still he cannot be given pizza. No, it's very heavy. So at appropriate time, he can be given. Of course, pizza is a Western thing, maybe. But rice dal chapati chapati, even if we say, so like at least till 6 months or 4 months, baby has to take only mother's milk. But that doesn't mean that after 6 months also mother doesn't give any other food to baby. Okay. So that's why similarly we have to find out appropriate time when people can come and take up this thing. So maybe the boys who are directly on the stage of very neophyte, who are like, ekdam new, brand new boys who are like, just taken birth. They are like babies only. So for them, you only have to care like a mother. They cannot digest anybody else. But eventually then introduce them to preacher, then they can digest little more solid food. Probably. But then at least boys who are like Sankar Spurti level boys, I feel Spurti level boys are able to digest, even if we introduce them to great souls. And we may choose some great souls, not that we have to introduce to each and every great soul. That's why I was more meaning Prabhupada, because Prabhupada is like universal guru. Everybody can understand him, and at least Prabhupada books, maybe lectures may not be understandable, but Prabhupada books to good extent. So I was more specifically meaning Prabhupada introduction than to Prabhupada. And other great souls, we may choose and introduce. That is one option. Second option is that it is not that we just give them off to them, right? It's like a occasional event and we have to see. So I think one batch of devotees, once Radhanath Maharaj came to our temple, Kunja Bihari. So whose batch? I think it was Vaibhav Prabhu's batch. Vaibhav Prabhu and our Haridev Sharan Prabhu, this Vasudev Krishna Prabhu, their batch. So I don't know whether Nayan Prabhu, whether you had also come, I don't know. So Maharaj gave a class on CC, that Gopinath Patnaik pastor spoke. So they didn't understand a word out of it. Kya chal raha hai, but Spurti level. It was, they were like, very new boys. They couldn't understand anything. But it was not that they did not, they got some aversion also. They said थोड़ा हाई-फाई चीज है, आपको समझ में नहीं आया, ठीक है. कीर्तन था, ठीक था, प्रसाद अच्छा खाने को मिल गया. They're happy. In fact, I remember in my also I was chanting. Was first I was forcefully taken to Chowpatty that time when Juhu, this 40th anniversary was there of Juhu. 40th नहीं 25th anniversary. 40th तो अभी recent था शायद. 25th anniversary was there of Juhu. So our mentors had forced us to come. It was a 6-day festival. Then they said that, yeah, Nayanpur is saying he was not there. Yeah, that's what Vaibhav Prabhu and all they were there. So we were taken that time. So we did not agree for 6 days. Then they say at least come for 3 days. That also we did not agree. Then they forced at least one day you must come. You will miss such an important festival. You are not. You are thinking क्या है इनका कैसे वही भजन कीर्तन. Although I was chanting 8 rounds by that time, still I was totally reluctant to go. मुंबई पैसा जाएगा और पता नहीं इनका क्या रहेगा कैसे रहेगा. There was a heavy resistance, but somehow they forced and we went. And that was a Pushabhishek day in Chowpatty. So that time 51 Prabhupada disciples came to Chowpatty. That was a function. So morning Radhanath Maharaj gave Bhagavatam. And we were just traveled from Sumo and we had reached. I was simply sleeping in Bhagavatam. This was my first introduction to Radhanath Maharaj. This 2003. 2003. It was February month somewhere. So it was my first, and I said I couldn't understand a word what he is speaking. So I somehow developed some kind of kya hai ye log, and this particular Swami, especially I don't want to do anything with. I felt like that. कुछ इनसे लेना देना नहीं है. But on the other hand, in that period, because that Jews 25th anniversary, there so many Prabhupada disciples were coming. So there was Suhotra, our him had come. First, Sachinandan Maharaj had come in Pune that time. And he had come to Mayapur Voice also in the temple. And he had given IVF meeting. That we liked very much. IVF meeting. बहुत मस्त लगा था वो. He was like speaking so sweet. And you see, Sachinandan Maharaj is so sweet. His talks. So that I had liked a lot. So I said, Sachinandan Maharaj seems to be nice. And this particular Maharaj, थोड़ा ऐसा लगा था क्या समझ नहीं आ रहा है. But then you see that although we are neophytes, but still at least one sannyasi heart, we could touch. Satyanandan Maharaj we could appreciate. Then later on, by April, Radhanath Maharaj came to Pune again. That time our Acharatna Prabhu's initiation was there. Acharatna Prabhu, Gopal Champu Prabhu, these devotees were getting initiated. So we had come to see that. That time thoda or advancement हुआ था. You can say one level of advancement was there. So then we could appreciate. Then that time also when I saw Radhanath Maharaj, I was feeling, array again that same Swami who has come. So at that time I also didn't hear lecture, so much. कुछ समझ में नहीं आया lecture में. Then Kirtan was good. It was fun to see their initiation. And Prasad was naturally very nice. Initiation feast was very good. So tab tak there was no particularly attraction for Radhanath Maharaj. And then eventually, so I had only one liking till that time. Only one Maharaj. That was Sachinandan Maharaj. No other liking. Only one lecture I had heard. And that also, that much only liking was there. Suhatra Maharaj had come in between, so उनका बट हाई फाई लेक्चर्स रहते थे, तो अच्छे लगे थे वो, बट थोड़ा ठीक है, बहुत हाई फाई. So for me Maharaj means only such, but we had developed a lot of attraction and respect for Raisham Prabhu by that time. Okay, he's a very great. And then eventually, then after shifting into voice, then we again went to Chowpatty. Then I got influenced by Radha. So maybe because of past life offenses, I couldn't recognize him, my guru, for so many years. And then later on, Gopal Krishna Maharaj came and he gave one hour. So that time Gopal Krishna Maharaj was there. And all duties used to tease me, अरे तुम पुणे में हो तुमको लोकनाथ महाराज पता नहीं ऐसे होते लालत है तुम पे your life is waste. I said yeah, but I never got opportunity to hear. Then I think next year, so that year December Maharaj Loknath Maharaj came, but somehow I missed it. After that, 1 year after that, Loknath Maharaj again came almost Bhagavad Katha.
Okay.
That time again, that time was the first time I remember I rushed from voice to see who is Loknath Maharaj. इतना सुना है उनके बारे में कौन है ये देखना है उनको. Then I went and saw. So why I'm telling this essentially because it is not that there will be always damage, or even though now I couldn't appreciate so much Radhanath Maharaj that time, but still it is not like that there will be always damage. तो लोगों को ज्यादा समझा भी नहीं तो भी ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत प्रसाद विसाद देके we can patch up the work. But seeing a great soul itself brings a purification. Darshane pavitra ko hi to maru. And eventually, but you'll see that some of these great souls people will like a lot, although they may be very new. Like we see recently, Indradyumna Maharaj came, and Bibi Govind Maharaj, Indradyumna Maharaj, they gave that evolve first evolve. My God, people became so fan of them. People liked, although they spoke such a straightforward philosophy of almost GS type of dose they gave, but still people did not mind. Devamrit Maharaj also people liked, but they couldn't understand Jayadvait Maharaj much because it was very plain and plain talk.
Very intellectual.
Very intellectual. So that's why we, even in our IYF meeting, in our BVP group also, we are thinking that we will choose certain Maharajas who are, or certain Prabhupada disciples or any other senior devotees who are able to also relate a lot with youths. So for new youth, they are also very good. Our senior devotees relish Jayadvait Maharaj classes.
Some devotee questions.
Yeah, they were all so happy. And Bhagavatam also many devotees came to hear. Their Kunja Bihari also, I remember from our JJD, so many devotees had come to Kunja Bihari also to attend his class. So senior devotees learned. So that's why there is a kind of phase, but ultimately that is important that we take association of great souls because their faith, conviction gets transferred like that. So our Vedant Prabhu is associating with Rompad Maharaj there. Isn't it Vedant Prabhu?
Yes, so my devotees will say I'm getting some position.
Share some.
So Shwet Prabhu is telling you should share some pastime sometimes with us. Of Prabhupada Maharaj. Yeah, because he is hardly seen in India. Maharaj, because I did serving in GBC that time. So my seva in GBC was serving herbal tea. So Rompad Maharaj and Shivram Maharaj, both of them together would call me Chai Wala. Hey Chai Wala, they would say, Chai, Chai. They would call like, they would tease me like this, both of them. Once I was having some other seva, so I was not there serving herbal tea. And then later on, they both asked me, "Hey Chai Wala, where were you?" It was very sweet moments. So, okay, so let us go ahead. So whole point was that this association of great souls is always helpful. Go ahead, ready? Who is ready?
Vedant Prabhu, we can just put in the
Which
Padma
paragraph?
in the Padma Purana.
Yeah. In the Padma Purana, there is a story of Nearford devotee who, in order to raise herself to a static platform, invoked the Lord's grace upon her. Sometimes, however, it is found that without undergoing any devotional process, one all of a sudden develops devotion for Lord Krishna. The sudden development of devotional attitude in a person must be understood as a special mercy of Krishna or of his devotee. This apparently accidental development of ecstatic feelings through the causeless mercy of Krishna can be divided into three groups: simply by speaking, simply by dancing, and simply by good wishes. More paragraph, please.
Mm, okay, let us discuss this one. So this is the story of one prostitute named Chandrakanti. That will come somewhere else in Srimad Bhagavatam, in this only anodi. That she went on the Radhashtami day to temple of Radha Krishna, and that was a Radhashtami day. And she just went there. She was like a normal prostitute who was having no what do you say, no devotional acumen as such. Hmm. But she just went. Hmm. And she found the atmosphere in temple very nice, Radha Krishna temple, and there was nice decoration, flower decoration, and there was kirtan going on there. And somehow after going there, she felt so much devotional feelings that it is recorded that she danced all night in that temple. Because maybe there may be Jagran Kirtan must be there. Generally, actually Indian traditional thing was that there would be Jagran on the festival day. Jagran is like normal, whole night Kirtan. If you see now also, if you go in Dindi, you'll see so many Varkaris. Night, it is so wonderful to hear. Yeah, what they call? Yeah, Jagran only, I think they call it. Share. But if you see night, their kirtan start also with that pakhwas and they sing so sweetly. It is, my God, in the our India, I think that that all my tiring travel of walking of Dindi would be nicely neutralized by this ones. Night kirtans they would do. And that's a very typical tradition in all parts of India. If you go to Kumbh Mela also, you'll see there are many groups who do whole night kirtan. So 24-hour kirtan is like a Akhanda Harinam कहते हैं वो उसको in North India, I think. है ना? They call Akhanda Harinam something. Yeah. So that's a tradition. So she must have seen that, and whole night she danced, this Chandrakanti. And but by the end of the night, by morning, she was almost like she had almost become pure devotee to Lord. So this is Krupa Siddhi. Krupa Siddhi is what? That's what Prabhupada is explaining. This is the causeless mercy of the Lord. So this is sudden development of devotional attitude. So before that she had no devotional attitude. She just by chance went to a temple, or we can say arrangement of the Lord or chance. And somehow or other, those devotional feelings came upon her. And she was inspired to dance whole night. And because it was a Radhashtami day, so she danced, and mostly Radharani must have become pleased with her and must have given a special mercy to her. So this is accidental development of ecstatic feelings. So simply by speaking, simply by glancing, or simply by good wishes, it may come. Okay, so next one.
In the Naradiya Puran, there is a statement about development of ecstatic love simply by speaking. Okay. Lord Krishna said to Narada, "O best among the Brahmanas, I wish that you may develop unalloyed devotional service to me. This is full of transcendental bliss and all auspiciousness." In the Skanda Purana, there is a statement about developing ecstatic love towards Krishna. Simply by glancing, it is stated there, when the inhabitants of Jangala province saw the personality of Godhead, Krishna, they were so stricken with the feeling that they could not withdraw their glance from him.
Yeah, so this is one form of bestowing causeless mercy. That is simply by speaking. Somebody happens to speak, like Dhruva Maharaj. As such, he had no devotional credits, of course, but he was induced by his mother in the devotional feelings. and later on he was induced by Narad Muni. So similarly, Prahlad Maharaj also, he saved his mother, and simply by that he was converted into pure devotee of the Lord. Of course, we can say one says that they are eternal associates, but in this particular Leela, taking a reference only that particular cross section, it happened as such. Prahlad Maharaj is an eternal associate of the Lord, but if you just take that cross section of that pastime, we can see that he was induced to devotional service. Otherwise, Prahlad Maharaj had no chance. Isn't it? How he would have become? He had whole demoniac association around him, right? Otherwise, how would he have become devotee? But it was because of Narad Muni's intervention that he heard from Narad Muni, so he became a great Vaishnava. Similarly, Dhruva Maharaj also, he had the seed of devotion was given by his mother, but it was further developed by Narad Muni also. Similarly, for Mrugari also, isn't it a Krupa Siddhi only? What austerities or what sadhana Mrugari did? No sadhana, one sense, up before that to attend devotional service. It seemed that he had no credits also. Devotional credits kuch the nahi, because he was so sinful and he had no devotional inclination for whatsoever. But he just came upon a Vaishnava, and Vaishnava by speaking and just by accepting the words of Vaishnava, he became a Vaishnava. Similarly, that Shiva Bhakta who came to Sanatana Goswami to ask for Parasmani, right? He also just by Sanatana Goswami, by just contact with Sanatana Goswami, he got induced. So this is called as Krupa Siddhi, and it can be invoked just by speaking. So actually, many of us also got this type of Krupa Siddhi. May not be exactly, we are not Siddha yet, but some kind of Krupa because of speaking with a devotee. We just agree to speak with some devotee. We agree to hear from a devotee, and that is our good fortune that we get mercy. So some of us, maybe some of you may be very much advanced from your past life itself, and now a devotee comes and he just invokes your devotional service. But some of us may not be like that, who had some past account. Maybe this is our new account has started, fresh account. So it was simply by talking with a devotee. Just somehow we agreed to talk with a devotee. And with that, we got this mercy. So that's what is Krupa Siddhi. Okay, ahead.
Um, as for uh, as for ecstatic love of Krishna, there is a statement in the seventh
No,
canto.
one paragraph before that.
Oh, sorry, upar, yeah. As far as heartfelt wishes are concerned, there is a statement in Shuka Samhita where Narada tells Srila Vasudev, "You have a son who is the greatest devotee of the personality of Godhead, and I can observe that without any following of the regulatory principles of devotional service, he is already enriched with many of the symptoms achieved by the execution of devotional service after many, many births." As for ecstatic love of Krishna, there is a statement in the 7th canto, 4th chapter, verse 36 of Srimad Bhagavatam, in which Narada addresses King Yudhishthir. My dear king, it is very difficult to describe the character of Prahlad. He developed a natural attraction for Krishna, and whatever I can explain about his character will simply be an arrangement of words. His actual character is. Can you please scroll the screen little above? I cannot read. This picture is coming. Yeah, thanks. He developed a natural attraction for Krishna, and whatever I can. Sorry, his actual character is impossible to describe. This means that Narada himself admitted that the natural development of Prahlad's ecstatic love was by the grace of Lord Krishna.
Yeah, and of course by the grace of Narad Muni. He is not telling about himself. Now Krishna's grace descended upon Prahlad through the Narad Muni. So okay, next one also is similar. So please read next paragraph also.
Then you can continue.
Okay, thank you. This natural attraction for Krishna on the part of Prahlad was developed simply by the mercy of Narada. When Prahlad Maharaj was within the womb of his mother, she was being sympathetically instructed by Narada about the science of devotional service. And at the same time, Narada was wishing that the child within the womb could also take advantage of the instructions. Because Narada, an authorized devotee and great associate of the personality of Godhead, was desiring auspiciousness for Prahlad Maharaj, he developed all the characteristics of a high grade devotee. This is called natural attraction. Um, yeah, can you please again scroll? Yeah. Thanks. It is caused by the special grace of the personality of Godhead or by the special grace of a great devotee like Narada.
Yeah, next one also you can.
There is a statement in the Skanda Purana wherein Parvata Muni tells Narada, "My dear Narada, of all saintly persons, you are so great and glorious that simply by your good wishes, a low born hunter also has become a great elevated devotee of Lord Krishna. This ecstatic love for Krishna can be divided into 5 divisions, which will be described by Srila Rupa Goswami later on."
Yeah, so this is due to good wishes. So we see more relevant example is of Srila Prabhupada when he was going to West. He had such good wishes for the Western people. So this song Markine Bhagavad Dharma and another one also. What is its title?
Krishna Tava
So any title is there?
Praise to Lord Krishna.
Uh, is Krishna Tava Punya Ave. By these two prayers, we see there Prabhupada is writing such good wishes towards people of West. And because of good wishes of Prabhupada, so if a pure devotee wishes good for us, that also can give us ecstatic love for Krishna. Or if we hear from a pure devotee, that can give us ecstatic love for Krishna. So majorly, so that's why the factor which brings us to pure devotional service um, is actually pure devotee. So that's why it is so important. Actually, that's why pure devotee is so important on planet. If you have pure devotees, that is the greatest fortune of the planet. Why? Because these pure devotees can purify all the people of the world, isn't it? They can give devotional service to everyone. So those who are non-devotees, they can give devotional service. Of course, a Madhyamadikari can also give non-devotee or devotional service. Even Kanishtadikari can give some extent. But elevation to pure devotional service can be given by a pure devotee only. I mean Uttamadikari, one sense. So that's why pure devotees are so important. They are so valuable. So now recent Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he underwent, he was detected corona positive. So why whole world is praying? One may say, oh, there are so many other people. They are also corona infected. Why should we discriminate between Maharaj and other? No, but one pure devotee is so important in the world. By his influence, so many people can be uplifted to pure devotional service. Means whatever position you are, pure devotees association, either by his words or by his good wishes. Like that. Jayapataka Maharaj came to our voice and he is telling Krishna Matirastu. So that is his good wishes. So that actually elevates us. We should not think that it is just a formality or I see, जो blessings है, pure devotees के, they are not like something. We may not see anything physically happening. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ तो चमक आ जाता है हमें या कुछ तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ट्रांसफर होता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. और नेक्स्ट दिन से हमारा tears start rolling and we start crying and dancing. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. But it is there added in our account, that good wish. So it's like, depositing 10 lakh rupees at a stretch in our bhakti account. So in right time, you will see that it will kick us off in the sense, kickstart. It will give us kickstart in ecstatic love. That things will help. So that's why more we gather the blessings of pure devotees. And of course, in general, Vaishnavas also, not only of pure devotees, in general devotees also. You'll see that more will be benefited. So this krupa is a very essential aspect of devotional service. And as a devotee, we should learn to gather the good wishes of other devotees and especially of very senior devotees and of, pure devotees, if we can learn to gather their good wishes. So how we gather, that's what he's writing. One is that by hearing from them, that also causes solid elevation. Second one is by earning their good wishes. So they'll give us good wishes by different ways. how they'll give us good wishes? By serving them, or by pleasing them in some way or other, or just reciprocating with them. They may give us good wishes, right? Like Jai Mataka Maharaj came to our voice. We did not do as such much seva to him, but just because of reciprocating, receiving him in the voice, we got his good wishes, right? So that way. Or recently Mahatma Prabhu gave, and he gave us his good wishes by hearing from him. And third one was this Prabhupada describes only two in this. Third method was it's quite up.
Ashok Samhita.
Away, still up. These are all examples only. Simply by good wishes, simply by glancing also. Third one is simply by glancing one may become. If a glance of a great soul falls on us, that also is a very good, chance that we'll get mercy of the Lord. Just glances. So, just like Krishna, when he glances over people, their good fortune begins. As Kunti Maharani also prays that all the opulences we have is simply because you are glancing over these things. Even gopis are praying, that Jayati te dikam janmana vraja shayata indira shashwadatrahi, because your lotus feet have come and because your glance is there on Vrindavan, so all opulences are there. Similarly, just by glancing of a great soul also, one may receive a lot of mercy. So glances are there at the same time. This good wishes and hearing, these are the best ways of getting krupa. So krupa comes by these methods, and this krupa can help us to progress the way beyond. We can progress by our own sadhana. You understand this? Maybe by sadhana we may be able to go. It's like Luna being lifted by a helicopter. Suppose Luna is going, how much Luna can go? 20 kilometers average? 30, 40 max. But if we have a second hand Luna, then further lesser, right? Our voice bike, it can give lesser speed. It can go by. But then imagine a helicopter comes. Then within a seconds, it can pick up this Luna and put it kilometers ahead. It can within some few hours, it can go from Pune to Kolkata also, right? Same way by this Krupa, our spiritual life can take it can take off such a powerful way, which could not have happened by sadhana. So that's why in our life, there has to be proper combination of sadhana and Krupa. If we think that if only by sadhana I can achieve success, very tough. Generally, it is not possible. Our sadhana has to be extremely intense. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible to attain success, because we know what is the level of our sadhana. So that's why Krupa is extremely important. It's very, very important that we try to please Vaishnavas, we try to serve Vaishnavas, we try to hear from great souls, by which the Krupa flows within us, and then it gives us some more strength to practice Krishna consciousness and go ahead. So, frankly speaking, in my own life, I could see that I have been saved only by Krupa of great Vaishnavas. Otherwise, I could have gone away long back from Krishna consciousness. And I can see that I had so much weakness in myself. But these great Vaishnavas, I was fortunate to serve many GBCs many times, and sometimes even whenever I get opportunity, I to serve Radheshamru also some prasadam. And in Pune, we get to hear from many great souls also, but especially by rendering service to great souls. And somehow they are so simple that they get pleased with little gestures of service also. It is not that it is very tough to please them. I have observed is one thing amongst these great souls. It's not that we have to put up a big show in order to please them. Just by the simple expressions of, favorable attitude towards them, they are so pleased. And some little service also if we do. So, and I can see in my life, this is what is my only qualification, that I was given some blessings by here and there by these great souls. And that's how I could continue till now, at least. Till now, the Gadi is going on of spiritual life. I don't know how long it will go on. Till now, it is going on. I could see, because I can see the sincerity of my sadhana is not so much. Intensity is not so much. I don't have much good qualifications also. But this Krupa is the thing which has given me quite a lot of boost in spiritual life. So we have to try, our best. So one is that's why we have to be very opportunist. Means what? Whenever there are great souls associations are available, especially Vapu association, whenever available, especially when Seva is available of great souls, we should grab it and we should try to do it. On the other side, in fact, we should look for it. Not only just we should wait when it will come by its own chance, when the chance will come. We should go and proactively look for it to do some seva, and that will also give us lot of boost in our spiritual life.
Also, this Bhaktapada Dhuriya,
These are also forms of Krupa.
Bhakta-Vashesh.
Yeah, Bhakta Pada Doliyara, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhuktavashesha,
Teen Mahabal.
Teen Mahabal. Correct. So that is also one form of Krupa only, you can say. That is the great thing. Okay, so I think we should not start. If you have any questions, I can answer. Otherwise, I'll read from some other book for you. Because we have to start a new chapter today. We'll start it next week.
We'll be doing complete book?
No. Now 2 more chapters, 18th and 19th. Character of ecstatic, one in ecstatic love, and devotional service in pure love of God. That's it. Then 20th onwards we'll not read. Because these are very high-fi sections then.
Qualities of
These are also quite high. You can read on your own. So, anyways, meanwhile, if you don't have a question, because today is Prabhupada's Sannyas day, so we may not read about Prabhupada's Sannyas pastime exactly, but we'll read something from Transcendental Diary. Just another 5-10 minutes till the time we have time. We'll read from this Prabhupada's Transcendental Diary. This is maybe May 25th, 1976. Prabhupada is in Honolulu, Hawaii. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam class today, Srila Prabhupada defined the meaning of sneha, affection. Even though Ajamil was a rogue, a thief and a cheat, he said, possessed all bad qualities, still he had affection for his youngest child. Prabhupada said sneha also means liquid, and affection like liquid flows down from the highest to the lowest. This flow of affection is the relationship between the soul and Krishna. He described where it comes from and where it goes to. I have my body. If there is some danger, I try to protect myself from the danger. That means I love my body. So the next question will be, then why don't you love a dead body? Suppose your wife or husband you love because the husband and wife is in the body. So I love the body because the spirit soul is there. This is right conclusion. Otherwise, who is going to love a dead body? So it is clear that soul is different from the body. But because we are fools and rascals, we learn it after death. That is foolishness. Not in the beginning. In the beginning, Bhagavad Gita, it says, Krishna says that Asmin Dehe, within this body, the soul is there. No, I don't believe. Dull brain cannot understand. But after death, he sees, yes, the body is not my son. The body is not my husband. So that is foolishness. The foolish person understands late and the intelligent person understands very quickly. That is the difference. So I love my body. I love my husband's body, my wife's body. Why? The real husband, wife or son is within the body. Therefore we love. Then the conclusion is that the soul is important more than the body. Then the question will be that why you love the soul? Then the answer will be because the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Using the logic of downward flow of liquid, Prabhupada concluded, I love Krishna, and because the soul is part and parcel of Krishna, therefore I love the soul. And because the soul is within this body, therefore I love the body. There is no difficulty to understand. So beautifully, right? The original love is coming, this love is for Krishna. And then because spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna, so we love spirit soul. And because spirit soul is within the body, we are loving body also. But otherwise, very logically, Prabhupada is telling, otherwise, if the dead man's body, why people don't love? If at all the body is the cause of affection, why people don't love? Any person who is died, his body they don't love, they just burn it, isn't it? Yeah, so down. Information came from Giriraj Prabhu in Bombay that the BBT Library Party has gained a further 40 standing orders and Gargamuni Swami's party another 30. He confirmed that Gopal Krishna Prabhu, this is now Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and Giriraj Maharaj also, has left for Moscow to try to sell books at the annual book fair. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj was the second one to go to Russia after Prabhupada. He went. Prabhupada sent him to Russia. He also reported that Mr. Brij Ratan Mohatta has promised 10,000 rupees for the new Gurukul building, and the Maharana B.S. Mewad of Udaipur has promised 50,000 rupees for purchasing books for the library. Srila Prabhupada is planning in Bombay. We see that library is there still. In Juhu, you must have seen. It is a nice library. I think this is the best library in all ISKCON temples. Very nice. So many books are there. You can sit and read. And you can also, there is computer library also. Audio library is also there. You can hear any class or see any videos by sitting on the computer. It's a very nice library. So this Maharana Mewad of Udaipur, he had given donation for it. To avoid the constant visa problems, Hindi language classes are now being held 3 times a week for the devotees, with the idea that eventually some will be able to apply for Indian citizenship. So we want to conduct English classes. They were conducting Hindi classes for devotees because they want to get Indian citizenship. This is in response to another of Srila Prabhupada's ideas to solve this ongoing dilemma. Giriraj later showed he had been well trained by Srila Prabhupada. He reported receiving a receipt for bank transfer of rupees 14,793.17 paisa from Srila Prabhupada, which was made when we were in Melbourne. The bank, however, said it received 4 rupees less than that. So he is now asking the bank to reconfirm the correct transfer account. Correct transfer amount. Giriraj reported that Ram Krishna Bajaj had phoned and asked him and Gopal Krishna Prabhu to attend Gita Pratishthan if Prabhupada is unable. In a footnote, he added that the contractors were now working on Prabhupada's rooms on the top floor of guest house towers, and that the view from there is fantastic and unlimited. Prabhupada replied, encouraging him to pursue the missing 4 rupees with the bank. So see, Prabhupada was counting even 4 rupees. कितना बड़ा amount है वो 14,000 में. We would have just said, अरे 4 रुपए का कौन देखता है? But Prabhupada was so diligent about it, He also was diligent and Prabhupada also diligent. 4 रुपए भी waste नहीं जाना चाहिए. He also expressed concern why Mr. Mohatta has only giving 10,000 rupees. Prabhupada pointed out that he had originally promised to pay for the whole construction, estimated 10 lakhs. So we see sometimes this is, Prabhupada is so revolutionary. A traditional sannyasi and Paramhamsa means what? He will simply chant and he'll give lectures maybe on Krishna consciousness, and what else he'll do? He'll guide disciples, right? And he'll give diksha. But this type of bank dealings and construction dealings and all that, Prabhupada is a revolutionary Paramhamsa and revolutionary Acharya because it is everything is done for Krishna's service. It is Yukta Vairagya principle is applied. So Prabhupada applied Yukta Vairagya to the highest. He used everything in Lord's service. Correct? Yeah. Then he liked the institution of Hindi classes and he said as many devotees as possible must learn. But he wanted to know if the question of our devotees getting permanent exemption for visas had been raised in parliament or not. Giriraj previously mentioned this possibility, but he has not learned anything further on this. Prabhupada also went into some detail about plans he received yesterday for his house in Mayapur. What is that now? There is no Prabhupada house in Mayapur, right? They are trying to build.
Two places are there. One is like Putti, where 24-hour Kirtan goes on, and one is Prabhupada's room in the Lotus building. Where this Mahaprabhu's duty is there. Only Prabhupada's residence.
But here they are talking about some house, making a house for Prabhupada in Mayapur.
It's next paragraph. Comes new one calls for placing guest house on the top floor.
Means that only Lotus building.
Means I think what I understood that they were planning to make separate house for Prabhupada. Then I thought let us better shift it to. Means a plan was
maybe Prabhupada might have disappeared also by that time. They could construct because this is a barely 1976. It's like May means only 1 year after that Prabhupada remained. One and a half year. There was another plan presented to him last year, and he wants to compare two before making any final decision. This new one calls for placing guest rooms on the top floor above Srila Prabhupada's own rooms. He is not happy with that arrangement, nor does he want them to be occupied while he is in residence. Noting that there is an overhanging veranda outside his main workroom, he questions whether this would allow sun to shine in or not. He said that it will not be very nice without sunshine. He also wants a lift from the ground floor to the first floor. You see, Prabhupada was 1996 means he was about to leave his body in 1 year. How much frail he must be. That's why he wanted that lift should be there. But till now, lift is not there.
It's there.
There?
But it's like only Jagadaga Maharaj.
Oh, only for them.
Maharaj.
For only Jagata Maharaj.
But how Giriraj Prabhu is there?
Maybe he must have got something. And the facility to take his massage in the sun on the roof. Finally, he told Giriraj the construction should not proceed until he sees the master plan for Mayapur. It may be that a more secluded spot is available. The present site is situated near the main gate. हाँ ये main gate के पास में था जो भी plan कर रहे थे. अच्छा, they are planning there. Yeah, I think they are planning there to make a proper house for Prabhupada. But then it never materialized, it seems. Which may be too noisy and crowded. He also concerned about the Gita Pratishtan meeting, which he would like to attend if possible. Since Giriraj letter was written the day after Prabhupada's latest letter to him, Giriraj could not have known of Srila Prabhupada's indirect request to have it postponed until he returns. He told Giriraj he will wait until he hears from Mr. Bajaj before he makes a decision. In the event he cannot personally attend, he said he will send a paper to Giriraj which he can read out to the meeting on his behalf. As far as the news about his rooms go, he was very glad and even suggested that if they prove to be peaceful and quiet, he might remain in Bombay to translate the Srimad Bhagavatam. Later in the day, a telegram arrived from Gopal Krishna Prabhu in Russia. He said the Russians love the books and the Mahamantra and that he has taken orders for books. This Srila Prabhupada was very happy to receive the news. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Sannyas Grahan Mahotsav ki Jai. Shri Bhadra Purnima ki Jai. Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu ki Jai.